Hey, what is going on, friend? This is Jake of JG Calisthenics, and before I dive into it, just want to mention that if this is your first time here on this channel, then I highly encourage you to subscribe to the channel now and turn on post notifications, because if you want to build more muscle and strength and shred off more fat with calisthenics body training, then you've come to the right channel, my friends. So by all means, stay tuned and keep on watching this good juicy content I've got coming up for you. So in this video, I'm going to cover one exercise that is going to train your horizontal pushing pattern and one exercise that is going to train your vertical overhead pushing pattern with bodyweight training, right? And obviously both these exercises are going to work your chest, shoulders and triceps. Just the horizontal push is going to train more of your chest, and the vertical push is going to train more of your shoulders, right? And so the first horizontal pushing exercise, and the only horizontal pushing exercise we're going to cover in this video, is, push-ups, and then working towards progressions beyond there, working towards, planche push-ups, right? And as this video goes more beyond just a regular push-up, as I've covered, beginner variations of push-ups a lot on this channel already, just want to mention that if you are at that stage of, the starting of your calisthenics journey, then of course I highly encourage you to take a step back, work on your base. We've all got to start somewhere. I'll link up a video or even a card or playlist up here for you to check out, some of the beginner push-up exercises I have for you. And so once we get to the stage where we can do 10 strict push-ups in a row, or 15 strict push-ups in a row, or even 20 plus, right? We've got to continuously improve and increase the stimulus placed on our muscles so they grow bigger and stronger, right? And the best exercise we can do for this with calisthenics is simply working towards the planche push-up, as I've said, right? And the best way to start with this is the lean forward push-up. In other words, also being the sweater planche push-up, right? Some people kind of give it a different name, but regardless, it's the same damn exercise, right? So with the lean forward push-up, as it's a lot harder than it looks than a regular push-up when you actually start this, right? I highly encourage you to start this in a straddle position with your legs wider than shoulder width apart, as that's going to help you be able to lean forward and still focus on that good proper form. And as you get stronger over time, you can actually focus on narrowing your feet together, so you're doing a regular lean forward push-up, right, with your feet together, as I've just said. So with the lean forward push-up, the intensity is going to differ based on how far forward you lean, right? So if you lean just a little bit forward, right, then obviously that's going to be easier, as you're going to be pushing a smaller proportion of your body weight relative to if you lean much further as you get stronger over time to actually, push closer with your hands closer towards your waistline, so you're pushing a much larger proportion of your body weight, and so as a result you're going to get very strong over time. And now, as I mentioned, of course, working towards a planche push-up where we're pushing with our feet off the ground. We want to work towards the tuck planche push-up where we're pushing with our feet off the ground but our knees tucked, so we can actually cope with the intensity of the exercise, right? So to bridge the gap between just a regular lean forward push-up and doing tuck planche push-ups, we can do accommodating resistance lean forward push-ups where we simply lean further forward on the eccentric, and then at the bottom we shift our weight backwards slightly and then push up. As we're stronger in the eccentric, we can actually handle more lowering down than pushing up. So again, this is going to help you get stronger and be able to progress at a better rate rather than just getting stuck at the same intensity, right? And then as we get very strong with these, we will then have the strength base to actually work towards tuck planche push-ups, right? And regardless, your form is not going to be 100% perfect when you're actually first get onto tuck planche push-ups, as you'll see my clips when I first started doing these. Really, you want to be doing these with your hips in line with your shoulders, but for me, I kind of struggle with that, but it's okay. It's not going to be perfect. If you try and wait until it's perfect, you're never going to be able to actually progress on to tuck planche push-ups. So just work within your current strength range, as long as you're applying the basic principles of the correct form, and then as you get stronger you can push more with your hips over your shoulders, as you'll see as I've progressed over the months, to be able to do this a lot more comfortably for a lot more repetitions. And as I mentioned before, doing accommodating resistance with the lean forward push-up, we can also do accommodating resistance with the tuck planche push-up by actually lowering down into an advanced tuck, which is going to be a lot harder, overload than the eccentric, as I said, and we push up into a tuck planche push-up. This is very intense, very challenging, and it's really going to help you continuously build more strength towards the full planche push-up itself. And unfortunately, beyond this point, I can't really talk much more because this is the stage I'm currently at, and I'm not quite at that level to actually do a planche or a straddle planche myself, right? If you actually want to see the full planche push-up in person, then of course you can check out my coach Phil Chubb at the Mindful Mover, as that guy is just a freaking machine. So as we've covered horizontal pushing, the vertical pushing exercise I want to cover is pike push-ups and working towards handstand push-up progressions from there. And as I said, I've got a full tutorial on the pike push-up for those who are more at that beginner stage, as I was, you know, I was at that stage myself, you know, a year or two ago. And so I'll check up, I'll link a card up here for you to check out my full pike push-up tutorial here on this YouTube channel. So once we get very comfortable at the proper strict pike push-ups, the best way to progress from here is to not only, of course, work towards the handstand push-up, but actually doing full range of motion pike push-ups, right? Because when we actually elevate the hands to be able to do a full range of motion, right, we're actually going to mimic completely an actual overhead press, but with our body weight instead. So as a result, we can actually make a lot of strength and mobility gains, right? As we're not limited by our head to limit the range of motion when we're actually pushing our body weight overhead, right? And as you elevate the feet, you can adjust the intensity based on your feet height, right? So, and then you elevate your feet on something like a bench. Obviously, this is going to be easier to start with relative to if you were to elevate your feet even further on something like a high box. Another thing as well with elevating the hands is that obviously you can elevate the hands with parallettes, low bars, or you can even just do them with a regular surface like, you know, some stools or step up boxes or a bench, whatever's best for you, right? And I'm telling you, this exercise was an absolute game changer for me that my coach introduced me to. And so when I actually started working towards the chest wall handstand push-ups, they were actually much easier rather than before when I could never actually do a rep because I wasn't actually given the proper guidance beforehand to know what progressions to do, right? And so obviously once you get to the chest wall handstand push-up, you want to focus on these so you can actually focus on building the base for what you actually want to do from that point. And obviously there's a few ways we can go from here. One of them is actually doing them on gymnastic rings, which I actually don't encourage you to do because I tried it myself and I gave myself a concussion. So what I'd encourage you to do instead is, of course, what I'm actually going to start doing myself for what I learned from that mistake is obviously probably working more towards doing it freestanding, or what I'm actually going to do as well is actually working towards doing, you know, the chest wall handstand push-up with my hands elevated, so I do them with a full range of motion, right? And as we're talking about strength, with strength training, it's all about working smarter rather than harder. You know, you don't need about a dozen different exercises to target your chest, shoulders and triceps. You know, if you've seen my own progress in like the last, I'd say 9 months, let's say, since I've been working with my own coach, right, you'll notice that, you know, not only have I got a lot stronger than before, right, obviously my physique has continuously improved as a result. And as I said, with these two exercises I've mentioned, working towards the planche push up and the handstand push up, these are really the two main pushing exercises I've really focused on in my upper body exercises, because the strength carryover for these two exercises is so strong, you're going to get stronger in any other pushing exercise for free, right? Which, as I'm sure you probably would agree, you'd rather actually do the exercises which give you more results for your time rather than doing more exercises in more time and getting inferior results, you know? And so if you yourself have actually mastered the basics of calisthenics, you're very good at push-ups, you're very good at dips, you're very good at pull-ups and that, and you're not really sure where to go next beyond just what I've covered in this video, then by all means you're always free to send me a DM either on Facebook or Instagram. There's a link up there, or I'll link all my social links down in the description below. And yeah, I know myself how difficult it was to actually be able to progress once I actually got the basics of calisthenics in check. And so I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have in that realm, right? And so with that said, if you enjoyed this video, you like my content, you enjoy watching every single minute, every single second of this video, then make sure to give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Comment down below what you thought of this video as a whole. I'd love to know your thoughts, insights, and just have a chat with you in general, right? Subscribe to the channel if you had already, share this with a friend or friends you believe would benefit from these gains. And as that's enough for me today, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, my friend, as a crew member of the Gains Express. Keep moving forward. I'll see you in the next video.